Help them figure what they want out of life. But you know everything it come with a price. Wanna maximize your money and time. Might have to take the uncommon advice.
Man, all right, we're back for Uncommon Advice. And something that happened this week is I got back on the lacrosse field after 25 years.
But I was impressed. You said you were not sore. You said you had a little. You cleated yourself. You feel like.
Whoa, maybe, possibly. I did take a cleat to the ankle. Might have been mine. But yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. I got out there just playing. You know, you had guys from probably mid-20s, and there's a guy out there's probably like in his mid-60s playing. So a bunch of old dogs out there, man, just you know, playing the game, having fun. You got some that are just laughing, having a good time. You got some of the younger guys that are super competitive and mad every shot they missed. And, you know, I was just out there. I started warming up a little bit towards the end of it, talking a little trash, you know, getting in their heads.
You think they liked it?
Which worked out because they were missing shots. And so that worked. But, yeah, I mean, it was blessed, man. I'm excited to go back next week. It's once a week. For about 10 weeks, we go out and play.
So when this all first started, there's one thing about Nate is an early bird to go into bed. And these games for him, what do you say, starts at 9:30?
Man, it's 9 to 10:30 at night. I'm in bed usually by 9:30. So I'm forcing myself to stay up. But it was pretty cool. Caden went out there with me. They're going to let him and another kid he plays across with, his dad plays. So they're going to let them come play with us a little bit, get some tosses in. It's not too competitive. Caden was asking me, like, at one play, this guy went to scoop the ball, and I was in a perfect position to lay him out. Caden got mad at me because I didn't lay him out. And I was letting him know, man, these guys, like, there's an unwritten rule in this old man league, and it's you don't lay these guys out because they got to get up and go to work in the morning. So he couldn't figure it out. But it was funny hearing him coach me up on the sideline and stuff. And
usually when he's playing, you're telling him, hey, lay him out.
Yeah,
so now he thinks he has to relay the message back to you.
Sometimes you gotta hit the people. It's a physical game, and there's a time to hit and a time not to hit.
It is a physical game, so that's awesome. But Nate, there's something else, Nate. My Miami Heat are in the NBA Finals. First 8 seed to make it. Well, not first, second 8 seed to make it. I think they're the first 8 seed to actually win a game. I think the last 8 seed were the Knicks, and they got swept. So right now, Miami's high. Where there's news is about Damian Lillard coming to Miami. There's news about Messi coming to Miami. The Dolphins are big. Tua's healthy. Like, Miami sports are on the rise after years of suffering. So I'm a very, very happy Miami fan right now. Even the Marlins. So I say I'm an all Miami team fan, but the Marlins are usually a team that you're like, they're there. But even this year, they're I think they're number 3 or number 4 in the standings in the East. So they're also fighting for a spot. So that's it's really cool.
So you saying that is a prime example of not $1 million audiences, but $1 billion audiences, right? When you build the right audience and you have something that people believe in, they're passionate about, they're excited about, they get on a podcast and talk about it all the time. Miami.
Let's go Heat.
Miami is not MIA right now. They're all in it.
They're all in it, and we can't blame the altitude anymore either. We're out of that. But hopefully they get a couple wins here at home and they go and get the job done in Denver. But let's kick off. Let's kick off on a little bit of what's going on here with us. We have a lot of special things that I think we've been working on these last couple weeks. One that I'll somewhat just jump on is SportsBread. That's one that basically we started on all the social media stuff and be more engaged with it last week. We did a little nice fun event that got Nate, I think, in a new hobby of shoes. But Nate, I'll let you talk about it a little bit because I know you did some nice purchases on those.
Yeah, it was my first time ever being at something like that, the sneaker exit. It was a really cool experience to go. My son's turning into kind of a sneakerhead, like in shoes and everything, and so he, for his birthday, we kind of got him these tickets, and then in the office we started talking about it, and we're like, let's go shoot content. This would be perfect for the SportsBread brand of what we're trying to accomplish there and build out on that. And so we went down there, we got content, we bought some shoes, and Caden was out there. It's kind of cool seeing him exercise that kind of inner entrepreneur a little bit and negotiating on shoes and understanding, like researching the shoes before he got there to understand what shoes he wanted, why he wanted them, and then what they were worth and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. And he ended up picking up a pair of Travis Scotts, and then I picked up a pair of some Jackie Robinsons that are on there. They're not here yet, but they're on their way. So I'm excited. It's a pretty cool thing being in that experience and seeing these. What was really cool, too, on top of that, was these kids hustling.
Oh, yeah.
And there is a kid there that you talked to that was 12 years old that was with his dad, and he had his own booth, and he was selling stuff. You saw kids with carts walking around, buying and selling shoes. It was a cool environment.
So just to go back on those Travis Scott. So Caden was wanting these Travis Scotts. He goes up to Ash, who you guys saw on the last podcast. Hey, what are these good to go? If anybody knows Travis Scotts, those are probably one of the more expensive shoes in the market. And the guy comes at Caden with like a $550 offer. And again, remind you, Caden is 11.
He just turned 12.
He just turned 12, and he negotiated that shoe down to $430. That's a $120 drop, which was a crazy, as you can see the conversation, you guys will see the video of just going back and forth in the conversation with the guy. And that was pretty impressive to see that kid that young was just, hey, I'm going to stand my ground and you're going to do it my way. I'm not getting it.
Yeah,
so,
it was pretty cool. But great experience, Sneaker Exit. Content to come on SportsBread.
Oh, yeah.
At SportsBread is the handle on all the socials. So that's exciting to have those and be able to push that forward. But getting back into audience building, let's talk about a huge behind the marketing piece here that just happened. And this morning I was reading a tweet. I'm going to go ahead and read it. It was from Elon Musk over there at Twitter. He says, this platform will provide email addresses of subscribers who opt in to content creators so that creators are able to leave this platform easily and take their subscribers with them if they want. So what does that mean?
That's big, isn't it?
Huge. Building $1 million audiences just got easier, right? So, and that parlays into their subscription service, right? The super subscribers. And they have the subscription service now where the creators that you like, they can now have 2 levels of content they produce, and you can subscribe to it, which is really neat. And now you can get paid. So Twitter's making money. You as the content creator is making money. So not only did they make it easier for you to build $1 million audience offside of Twitter by getting their emails and leveraging the tools that we talk about to drive those emails and send those newsletters, but also it's giving you an easy profit channel, right? So it's collecting money for you, and you're getting a percentage of that, which is pretty sweet.
Well, even I think it mentions that even if the creator decides to, hey, you know what, I'm going to step away from Twitter, Twitter's not right, they can still pull that list with them and take those emails, which that's huge. But going back to it, something I read, Twitter said for the first 12 months of this program, they're not taking $1. They were not taking $1, although they're going to pay, I think it was 70% if people who use mobile through the app, and then I think it was like 92% for people who go through like the website and stuff. And that's just to cover, I think, processing fees and stuff like that. So that's huge for content creators because I feel like Twitter is such a big platform for people to either express information or feelings or give news or article or even the threads. Threads are huge. So I think content creators are going to, well, not think, some of them, you showed me one today, had already the whole thing. Subscribe was like what, $4.99 or something to subscribe on his thing?
$5.
$5.
Yeah, it was $5. So now I don't know if you can if subscribing is $5 across the board, or if the content creator can actually determine what price they want it to be. So I'm not sure on that. I haven't dove that deep into it yet, but we're definitely going to get into it even more, which is pretty cool to see that.
So I might be wrong here, but I'm like pretty sure I read. So there's 3 options, Nate. I think that a content creator, like let's say yourself, goes on. I think you can select between $2.99, $4.99, or $9.99, were the 3 options they give, and you can select the tier you want to charge for your I guess your subscription base. Because if you think about it, someone with a big name, let's say like Elon, let's say he drops his stuff. People will pay $10 just to see what Elon's tweeting, just for the fun of it. But someone with a lower name, he might have to start off with that $2.99 just to get things going. So that's pretty cool that they're giving also different tiers. You're not just sticking on to just one for everybody.
Yeah, and it also, as you build your $1 million audience, as you build more people or put more people in that community, there's different levels of having an audience. There's a newsletter is one level, but if you have a free level of your newsletter and you have really good opens and clicks and everything else, that's great. But if you also have a segment of those people that are paid, that are paying to get your newsletter daily, that holds more value to advertisers. So this could be huge. This is something to follow. This is something to keep an eye on. This is something for you to go research and look at because it could be something very, very valuable in regards to if you're going to have gated content, what will advertisers pay knowing that you have paid subscribers that they can reach?
How big of an impact do you think this will have on the followers on YouTube, right? Do you think people will go less on YouTube now because, oh, I got to pay because I need to see what this guy's saying? Do you think that will hurt the engagement on YouTube?
YouTube or Twitter?
I mean, not YouTube, Twitter. Thanks for the correction.
Changing it up on me, man.
No.
Changing
Twitter,
it
Twitter,
up.
Twitter.
I'm like, where we go?
Twitter. Do you think that will hurt the engagement on Twitter?
So I don't know. Time will tell. I would think that the people over there are pretty smart, right? So it depends where it goes. Time will tell on that.
It definitely will be a more target audience, right? Because those
Yeah.
people are the ones interested, the ones that are paying, spending their money. So,
And I don't think it's going to be to where like every tweet a content creator makes.
Oh, so they
will
can
be
choose. They can choose what they want.
You got to be able to choose.
Okay.
Because there's content creators stuff today that I was looking at. I could see some of their stuff, but I couldn't see. And then I got the subscribe button for some other things. So you're picking and choosing what you gate.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because otherwise, think about how that, because that, in my opinion, that would impact engagement for content creators, because people on Twitter follow you because you say stuff they like, or you educate them, or things. They follow you for a reason. And now if they have to pay, new followers that find you have to pay just to be able to access something you've said, you're going to have, your audience is going to decrease because they're not getting that information unless they pay you. It's one of those things. You got to pay to learn on Twitter, which is known as a free platform. I would think that first off, you got to get people engaged, and they got to understand and like and want to follow you to actually pay for your upgraded content.
Gotcha. And I know you dug into this a little more. Here's my last question. So people who want to build that subscriber, are they allowed to run basically like a direct advertising campaign to drive subscribers to subscribe to their Twitter through Twitter? Like, can I say, like, can you come here and say, I'm going to run an ad so people can subscribe to my tweets?
Well, it's so new. I don't know.
No? Okay.
I mean, I don't know that answer. It's newer, but I would venture to say that there's a way to do it.
Gotcha.
There's always a way, and even if it's just paying to gain followers through ads and then upgrading them through your content, there'll be a way to do it for sure.
Okay.
Just what is the path that they have to take to become
Gotcha.
paid?
And is this open to everybody? Or is this right now? Because, some server. Okay.
I don't know.
Because, some servers, sometimes they're like, oh, we're going to pick 10 people to test this out with, and then we'll release it out to everybody. So do you recommend this to big content creators or even small content creators too?
Why not go test it?
There you go.
Test it. I mean, it's like anything in marketing. It's funny because whenever you ask someone, well, what do you recommend I do in marketing? Well, I test it. It's back in the day in all these masterminds I've been in, everything that was always like the go-to response. Just test it, split test it, figure it out. That's what it comes down to. You got to see if it's a good fit for you and look at what's going on in the market. It's newer, so analyze what's happening, and you can pay attention to what some of these bigger people are doing. And then if they're doing it and they're real heavy on it and they're putting more and more energy into it and talking about it, you're going to see it. All right, it's probably working. But if they test it out and then all of a sudden all their subscribe stuff disappears and they're no longer subscribing, maybe it didn't work for them. So, but either way, test it for yourself, figure out what makes sense.
I find it very interesting how all this is going to work, because Twitter has its trending topics. How are those even going to land? Like, it's just going to be interesting to see how the whole thing mixes up well with Twitter. Because, Twitter for me is my news source. Like, if you want to see anything, sports updates, news updates. Miami Heat blowing out the Denver Nuggets updates. You see it. I usually just go on Twitter and you click on one of the trending topics that's probably on there and you read it. So I find it interesting how all this is gonna work. But, guys, just test it.
So are you actually going to be at a Miami game?
No, not this weekend. No, I am heading down to Miami, sadly, but those tickets are ridiculous. I was looking today. I think like what I call bird feeders. It's all the way to the top. Those things are starting like at $850.
Yeah, I just watched it on TV.
And you get better view.
Yep.
And when you sit like
and more replays.
Exactly. I think the only time that it's worth it for me to go to sports events, right? There's sometimes I go just for the feeling, but I won't pay ridiculous price for it. But for me to be worth it, you have to have like something really low where you can get good views. Like some of those courtside tickets are going $45,000-$50,000. Like, come on.
Hey, man.
People have money, to spend it. There's definitely a market, but it's just ridiculous for me.
Hey, listen to this, might have to take the uncommon advice.